What is up, everyone? It's Dean Soto, founder of Prosulum.com, Prosulum.com, and we're here today at an undisclosed location. Got my coffee. Got my location, not the normal location you've been used to seeing. Moving on up. Just kidding. I've had this for a while. And on top of that, we're going to be talking about problem customers. Problem customers. Is there anything more infuriating than problem customers? And how to deal with them, okay? Deal with them before, during, and after. Okay, before, during, and after. I'm going to let this, I'm doing a video for my lead generation for my virtual assistants, my staff, and let that go. Anyway, all right, so you're probably here for, probably because you have a problem customer, yeah? Probably here because you have someone you're like, either that or you're just maybe preemptively here just in case that ever happens, which hopefully that doesn't. Here's the deal. Problem customers are good for your company if you frame them, if you frame it the right way, okay? They're good for your company in the beginning stages before you even have them. They're good during, and they're good after. Okay, so we're gonna do those 3 stages. Okay. All right. So prior to even having a customer coming on board, you should have a good qualification process. All right. So for example, today I was talking with 2 guys. We'll call them Doug and what's another D name? Doug and Daniel. Okay, not their real names. Talking with Doug and Daniel today, and it was cool. So they're very, very, very interested in getting a systems and process virtual assistant. They had gone and gotten some virtual assistants before on Upwork, and it was a hit or miss, right? Those are my good customers, are those who either don't want to hire, or they've hired people before in the past and it wasn't that great it was all right? And they just don't want to go through that process. They're super busy, their business is growing, and they want to hire more people. But on my end, that sounds great, right? Oh, more money, let's go get those customers in, let's get them. But from past experience, if you don't have the right customer with the right mindset, it can be a nightmare. Okay, so with these 2 guys, during the actual sales call, during the 30-minute sales call, consulting call, there are certain things that I ask. One is, do you already have processes? Do you have processes in place right now? Do you have documented systems? More often than not, the person's going to say no. And that allows me to go and start asking, well, why don't you? And sometimes there's 2 types of customers, right? There's one off of that landmine question, which if you looked at other things, some of the other videos, I always have some kind of landmine question, right? Something that if they hit that landmine, whether it's a customer or someone we're recruiting for virtual assistants, boom, they're gone. Landmine question, they're gone. I don't even want to touch them. Don't even want to even deal with them anymore. All right? Done. So that type of landmine question, that question that I asked, so why haven't you? If they say anything but, well, we want to, but we just don't have the time to write them out, or we don't have the time to actually do them, but we really find that we need that in our business. If they say something like, well, we've done videos and they've worked and we're good with that, and videos do work, and we're fine with that. Or a lot of the stuff we do is really high level stuff. A lot of it's really, really high level, which 90% of the time it's not. It could be something like that, or it could be something They could say some cool excuse like, well, yeah, it's just not really important in our business. If they say anything like that, boom, they're dead. They're gone. I'm not even going to touch them. They're going to be like, okay, well, here's some tips. Here's make the consulting worth it for you. Here's some tips and yada, yada. We'll talk later. But if they do say that initial, well, we just don't have the time to do it. We just don't have the time. We see the value in it. We want to do it. And we know that's really the only way we can scale our small business into a medium-sized business. That's the question. That's the answer to that question I want. So you want to have these landmine questions with your customers that you have on the phone, because you don't want every customer. It is so tempting. I had this one customer. We'll call him Ryan. Ryan. His name's another R. Super nice guy. Oh my gosh, super nice guy. Did real estate. And he also wanted to do Amazon drop shipping, which I teach in some other videos in a different company that I have. So, super nice guy. And he was hell-bent on starting an Amazon drop shipping business with his virtual assistant. And he was going to use the processes that I documented, my guys documented, to do that. And I kept saying, well, you want to have them do what's making you money currently, what you know. Keep in mind, he had no idea how to do anything with Amazon at all. Nothing at all. He was just going to take the processes that my guys had already done, sorry about that, and use those to then magically make the dropshipping work, which can happen. But you're going to get questions, especially because imagine if you were full-fledged in some sort of business and all of a sudden you just say, hey, I'm going to start this thing over here. You go do it for me. It doesn't quite work that way. Processes work. Processes are great and so on. But as soon as a question comes and you can't answer, it's worthless, right? It sucks. So I had this guy, so Ryan, he tried to do that, and I had him as a customer probably for 6 months, and he just kept on having issues and having problems, and he would call my staff all the time. He would Skype them, he would call them, he would do all of these things literally when my staff is sleeping. And of course my guys are amazing and they would answer, but they got tired of it. They got so tired of it. So eventually I actually had to terminate him. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But dealing with them up front, dealing with problem customers up front, by having those landmine questions and not accepting everybody, you have to have that perfect person, right? Have to have that perfect person and create those landmine questions ahead of time that allow you to quickly judge whether this person is going to be good or not. And the cool thing is, if they're not a good fit, you can always refer them to somebody else where they would be a good fit and make money off of that referral. You're helping them and they're helping you at the same time, right? So with Dave and Daniel, I almost said their names. With Dave and Daniel, they actually turned out to be a good fit, right? They answered the landmine question very well. And so we continued the conversation. I had a couple of other things that I asked, and they ended up being a good fit. I actually just sent them over a 6-month agreement today. For Ryan, let's call him Ryan, I had to terminate him. And so that brings me to current clients. If current clients are sucking the life out of you, bad clients are sucking the life out of you, it's not always... The guy is still, even with that, it's not always that they're trying to be jerks. I have one client right now who I've been trying to reach out to just to see if I can help them in any way. They've gone dark on me. I don't know if that means if they don't like me or if they are... So I had one client that I thought, I'm like, maybe he's just not happy with the service, not happy with what's going on. And it turned out he's an accountant type. And he's like, I just don't have time, and I love what's going on and what you're doing and everything like that. It's great. I just don't have time. Even with the VAs and everything like that, and plus he's introvert. He's not the one to get on the phone. He doesn't like doing that. He's more of like a behind the scenes accountant, like a CFO type. So, all that being said, just because they're a problem client doesn't necessarily mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean that they're going to cause necessarily trouble. So for Ryan, he still liked what was going on. He still liked the service, but it just wasn't a good fit because he just constantly was asking questions, and he was already getting he was one of our pilot people who we're getting case studies from, so he was getting it at a cheaper price, and it just wasn't going to work out. So I had to send him a termination letter. The termination letter goes a little something like this. Hey Ryan, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic, I hope you're having a great day. Don't say this word for word. I hope you're having a great day. Hey, listen, I know that you signed a 1-year agreement or a 6-month agreement or whatever it is, but I really want what's best for you and your company. And right now, it doesn't seem like we're a good fit. So as of next month, we're going to be canceling and terminating the agreement with you. Here are some suggestions as to some other places that would best fit you. And so I gave him some suggestions to where he could go, and they were great. They're actually really good companies, but it's more in line with somebody who wants your typical virtual assistant, not your systems and process and something that scales. And so I said, here's some companies that you can go to. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you need anything at all. Sorry to, I didn't say sorry. I said, please let me know if you have any questions at all. Sent that off, and boom, it was done. Right? Super nice email, added some value, sent him to a place that probably he ended up going to and getting what he wanted, or maybe not. Who knows? He might just not want a virtual assistant. So it was awesome. It was awesome for him. It was awesome for me. The amount of money that I was making from him being a customer was minuscule compared to the stress that he was causing, and we let him go. Which leads to point number 3 about what happens after the fact. Okay, just because you let a customer go doesn't mean that you can't communicate with them, can't reach out to them and see how they're doing and everything like that. The biggest thing is when that breakup happens, just to make yourself available for any questions. In fact, Ryan, he actually I sent an email, a breakup email once before, and he actually begged to stay. And so so the second email wasn't necessarily, I have someone trying to get on a Zoom meeting right now, wasn't necessarily a, how do I want to say this? It wasn't necessarily a surprise, right? And so for him, even with him getting cut, the fact that I cut so politely, he was fine after the fact, right? But after the fact, you can actually reach out to them 3, 4, 5, 6 months later and say, hey, how's everything going? And then actually add value and say, if they say, yeah, I wasn't able to get whatever it is, actually add value and say, well, here are some tips you can do. Here's some things that you can do to make it easier on you. And be a friend. I mean, you were friends beforehand. Why can't you not be friends, after the fact? Be friendly. And that why is that important? Because they're talking about you. If you are a jerk, they're going to let everybody know. They're going to let a lot of people know. And sometimes it can make or break a lot of things. So you want to have as many people on your side as possible, right? So there really is no reason why you can't reach out afterward, unless it's, even if it's a huge breakup. You can even send something like a little gift saying, hey, I apologize that it didn't work out. And, here's some cookies, just letting you know that I apologize and that I wish it worked out otherwise. So, But those are my tips on dealing with problem customers. It doesn't have to be. So why did I say it's actually a good thing? Is because with your customers in the beginning, it forces you to have a good qualification process. Your customers in the middle, it forces you to have a good customer support process. Customers that have left, it forces you to have a good reputation management. Good reputation management process. So each one plays into each other, yeah? And each one helps you to have a much better business overall and can lead to much more revenue in the long term, okay? So hope that helps. If you if you're ever have any interest in having a systems and process virtual assistant, a virtual assistant that basically can duplicate you. They document, you can do a 5-minute video, they'll document that task and then be able to do it. You'll never have to do that task ever again. And they can almost virtually run your entire business. You can go to prosulum.com, prosulum.com. Check that out. Get a free 30-minute consultation with me or one of my staff. More than likely it's gonna be with me. And I will see you in the next video. See ya. Have a good one. Bye.